Most people think the worst day in British history was some huge war against another country. It wasn't. It was British people killing other British people in the streets of London, and it happened so fast that by the end of the day the city barely felt real anymore. This was the Peasants' Revolt of 1381. In June 1381, England was already a mess. Let's look at the factors that led to this explosion of violence. After the Black Death, workers realized their value due to massive labor shortages. But rich landowners quickly forced the government to impose low pay again, infuriating the working class. Making things worse, the government introduced a poll tax, forcing every poor person to pay the same amount as the rich, despite having almost nothing. This pushed many families to desperation. The king at the time, Richard II, was only 14 years old. Older, powerful nobles were really running the country, and regular people blamed them for every single problem. That anger kept building for months, until one small, brutal moment pushed it over the edge. Tax collectors entered villages, sometimes resorting to shocking brutality to ensure payment. People finally snapped, attacking officials, turning protest into a full-scale rebellion. A man named Wat Tyler emerged as the leader, joined by radical priest John Ball, who famously preached that rich and poor were born equal. This idea terrified the ruling class more than the weapons did. As thousands of angry rebels marched toward London, destroying records and opening prisons, the day became brutal the moment they entered the capital itself. Many Londoners opened the gates for the peasants because they hated the government too. Now, thousands of angry rebels were inside the city, hunting powerful people connected to the king's advisors. Rebels forced their way into the supposedly untouchable Tower of London, grabbed Simon Sudbury, blamed for the taxes, and beheaded him publicly on Tower Hill. The revolt was strangely organized. Rebels didn't just kill randomly. They systematically targeted lawyers, tax officials, and government records, believing the entire system was the enemy. With fires spreading and the government collapsing in real time, the young King Richard finally agreed to meet the rebels' leader, Wat Tyler, at Smithfield. Nobody knew how this meeting would end. One wrong move, and London could turn into a complete slaughter. Wat Tyler reportedly acted with immense, perhaps reckless, confidence during the negotiations. An argument erupted. The mayor of London suddenly attacked Tyler, and royal guards rushed in. Wat Tyler was stabbed and dragged away dying, leaving thousands of rebels watching their leader bleed out. For a few seconds, the rebels looked ready to explode into total violence. But then, a 14-year-old boy changed everything. King Richard II rode forward himself and shouted for the confused rebels to follow him instead. The crowd hesitated, and that hesitation was fatal. Once the rebels lost their leader, the nobles moved fast. Troops arrived, rebel groups were hunted down, and promises the king had made to the peasants were immediately canceled. Within weeks, the revolt was crushed. Even though the rebellion failed, it scared England's rulers so badly that things slowly started changing. Harsh labor controls weakened over time, and the old feudal system slowly began falling apart, a direct result of the terrifying moment when ordinary people rose up. The most brutal day in British history wasn't just about violence. It was the moment ordinary people came terrifyingly close to breaking the entire system of medieval England.